Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and Stormbringer is coming to the United States. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Build your Warhammer Age of Sigmar collection with Stormbringer Magazine, coming soon to the US. The Stormbringer Magazine series has given UK readers the chance to collect vast armies of Warhammer Age of Sigmar with miniatures, painting guides, and game tutorials in every issue. It's been such a hit that it's shortly crossing the pond to the United States. Stormbringer launches in the US today, Wednesday the 25th of October, and is absolutely rammed with wargame goodness. You get miniatures in most issues, and there are also tools, paints, scenery, and other cool swag available. It's only available in the US via subscription, which means you'll have a weekly guide to the Mortal Realms delivered directly to your door. And if you subscribe before the 15th of November 2023, you'll receive a free Hagok gutrippaz miniature. So I'm not sure why we're this far into the actual article and they haven't even explained what Stormbringer is, but it's basically a magazine subscription, and with each magazine comes some models, some paints, some tools, or something else wargame related. And the idea is you sign up for this weekly subscription to the magazine. It's delivered monthly with 4 issues in each of those monthly deliveries, and you basically just end up with a bunch of cool stuff along the way that you can paint, model, and play games with. And theoretically, by the end of it, you have a few nice sized armies, and if you've been keeping up along the way, they'll be all painted up and you'll be familiar with the game. So pretty cool idea. The first few issues pit the Stormcast Eternals against the cunning kruleboyz, an introductory games that ease you into the basics of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Oh, and that's definitely worth note as well. This is all Sigmar themed, no 40k, necromunda, any of that stuff. By the end of the run, you'll also build up forces of Sylvaneth, Caradron Overlords, Ironjaws, and Gloomspite Gits, as well as a hefty paint collection and a heap of terrain for your burgeoning battlefield. You don't even need to be a brand new hobbyist to enjoy Stormbringer Magazine, as it is a great way for veteran generals to build up their collection and try their hand at armies they may not have considered before. There's even a premium subscription for dedicated Warhammer connoisseurs that adds centerpiece miniatures such as Krondis, son of Dracothian, and Gordrak, the Fist of Gork. Alright, so here is essentially all the models that you would have if you did the Stormbringer Magazine. Now, I went ahead and did a little bit of the research to kind of answer some of the questions I had, and hopefully some of the questions you had as well. Which, of course, the pricing is very important, which if you calculate everything, shipping included, you're looking at about $17 per issue. And it's technically a weekly subscription, but it's delivered monthly. And then if you want the premium subscription, you're going to get a couple of other like big kits periodically throughout the way, but that's going to add $3 per issue onto your price. So you're looking at either $17 per issue or $20 per issue, and you're going to have that charge 4 times per month. So you're looking at either $68 for the regular membership per month or $80 for the premium subscription per month. And the set is essentially 80 magazines long. So that is 20 months. So if we do some quick math on that, so the price for the regular subscription, 80 total magazines, which is going to come out to a 20-month subscription, is $1,360. And then if you do the premium subscription, it's going to come out to $1,600. And they do make some pretty bold claims about like what type of savings you're going to get and how much value is actually packed into this subscription. But I'm not really sure how it transfers, to tell you the truth. So there is a link at the bottom of the article for the find out more, and that's going to take us over to the Stormbringer website. And once you get here, I think you'll find that just like me, this website is a little out there. There's a lot of like really glitchy stuff. There's a ton moving around all the time. When you click on something to try to read it, it's constantly going to the next thing. It feels like it was definitely designed for somebody that's into like TikTok, which I'm just not sure is the actual demographic that might be purchasing this. So that being said, we see like a bunch of ads and everything flashing up on the screen here, a bunch of like value and everything. But it's fairly easy to navigate the website and see what all is here. They do a pretty good job with their like little pitch and everything like that. I think for me, like the premium and regular right off the bat, you're curious about. So if we just go over to the premium, we'll see that on issue 15. So 15 issues in of paying an extra $3 per issue. So we'll have $45 extra spent. You're going to get a Krondis, and that's like a $170 kit. And then with issue 33, again, you're going to be $99 in. You're going to have gotten a free Krondis, and then also you're going to get the Gordrak Fist of Gork, which is somewhere around like $120 kit. And then with your third issue, $153 in, you're going to get a Grunstock Gunhauler, 1 Navigator, and 3 Skywardens. And then finally for your fourth premium gift, you're going to get a Dankhold Troggoth and 3 regular Rockgut Troggoths, and that's with issue 69. You're going to be about $207 in. So for me, the premium set definitely seems like the way to go if you're going to sign up, because you get a bunch of like awesome centerpiece models for actually not that much more. And then if we keep scrolling down here, we see obviously the gutrippaz there. There's a little video and everything talking about the premium, your extra gifts and everything like that. And then also if you like pre-order versus waiting till it's actually out, you get a gutrippaz. And it's very important too that you note it does say specifically with like your 3rd delivery, 4th delivery, and 6th delivery. So you're basically going to be 6 months in before you actually get the paintbrush set. So if you're like painting along the way, I would imagine you probably would rather have those brushes early, maybe like before the mug or even the 1 extra guy. But I mean, overall, if we scroll down here, you'll see that you're going to end up with a lot of stuff. This is like the little paint collection you will have amassed by the time you've been doing this subscription. There are some basic rules and everything, so you're learning to play along the way. There's cool like reading and lore and stuff. There's also some binders so that you can like store all of the little articles and everything, all your stats. And then of course, the main thing is the miniatures. So there's a bunch of FAQs on here and everything like that. And then there's also like this breakdown where it shows you just straight up what you're going to get. So with your very first issue, and there is some like weird pricing, kind of like promotional stuff for like your first issue. One of your first or second issues is going to be free, and you're going to get the first issue for only like $7. So you save a couple bucks on like the first installment. But the truth is, realistically, you're going to be paying $80 a month for premium, or $68 a month for regular. You know, that's basically the charge you're going to be seeing on your card. So are you getting 80 bucks in miniatures or merchandise that you want per every 4 issues you're getting? Well, in this case, you know, it starts off with a lot of like the Dominion stuff, which has very, very little value relative to MSRP. So right off the bat, any calculations they're doing based on like the stuff that came in Dominion and the starter sets is going to be over inflated prices. Because realistically, you can still buy a box of Dominion for like 100 or 120 bucks, and you're getting like 2 massive armies. And a lot of that same stuff is going to be what you see in the Stormbringer set. So while I'm not opposed to it, I don't necessarily think it's bad. It's important to know that, you know, you could basically get all of this stuff in the starter set for like 50 bucks. You could pay about 15 bucks more and get like 4 paints. So at that point in time, you have about $65 in. And I'm just not sure that it's a great deal or anything like that. Now, as we go down here and see like some of the other stuff and everything, there's definitely a lot to go through. There's a bunch of facts. There's a bunch of contact information and everything like that. But I think when it's all said and done, the most important thing is to just look at the basics. And for me, when I look at this little picture of all the miniatures right here, and then I look at the paints and tools and everything that would be included in the set, and then I assign the value that we're actually going to be paying for that, which is roughly like $1,350 or $1,600 if we include the 4 bonuses for the premium subscription. Even if this amounted to substantially more in miniatures, let's say it was like $2,000 in miniatures and we're only paying like about $1,350 for it. So you're getting a decent amount of savings, about 33%. But you could realistically just go out and buy like a couple of Vanguard boxes, some of the terrain sets, some starter sets, and get to pick what you're actually purchasing and get around the same amount of stuff for around the same price. Now, if you are going to go ahead and sign up for this, I think the extra $3 per issue is worth it, because times that out by your 80 issues and it's only an extra $240. Right off the bat, Krondis and Gordrak, the 2 premium dragons, are basically going to make up for that. But as I'm kind of looking over the pictures and I'm really mulling through the math and everything like that, I just don't think this is some like amazing deal. There's definitely some cool stuff to it. Definitely the idea of a package showing up and not knowing what you're going to get. And it's a bunch of like cool hobby related stuff, either miniatures or tools or paints, is pretty neat. And it's worked quite well in like a lot of industries like the Dollar Shave Club and stuff like that. Or like those cool little like geek loot boxes that just show up and you're not sure what it's going to be, but probably something cool that you're interested in. But I think when it's all said and done, it's a lot more of a gimmick, and there's not really like a ton of savings or values when you really start breaking stuff down. Now, obviously on paper, if you just start smashing the MSRP and figure out what you're getting in the set, there's no doubt in my mind that it's an awesome deal. But that doesn't take into account you being able to get an actual discount on minis, which the going rate in the USA is pretty much 15%, on top of the fact that you can basically get Vanguard boxes or Christmas boxes or any of the bundles like the previous Warcry games for a substantially better deal than that, oftentimes about like a 30 to 40% discount on top of the 15% you're saving from the MSRP. So realistically, you should be able to pick up a lot of Warhammer for somewhere around like 40% off. And I'm just not sure that this is giving you a better deal than that. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now back to the video. So I'm not opposed to Stormbringer overall. I think it's a cool idea and I think it is probably a pretty good deal if you just go off of MSRP versus what you're going to actually pay. But when I look at the total and think, all right, is there really $1,350 worth of stuff here? Is any of this stuff going to be redundant? Is any of this stuff going to never get touched? I definitely think that this ends up being an easy pass for me. Now, I've also been in the hobby for a long time. I have a lot of these miniatures already, many of them still on sprues. I also have pretty much every paint Games Workshop makes. And once you're in the hobby for a little bit, you'll realize that you can probably count the colors that you're going to use up on one hand. And the majority of the paints you're never going to need a second of. You probably never even needed the first one. So for me, it seems like once you start pulling the various little like value appeal things out of this and really look at it from the top-down view, I just don't think that this is for me. Doesn't mean that it's not for you though. So if you do think this sounded pretty cool or you like the idea of it or you're curious for more, jump over to the Stormbringer website, take a look, crunch a little math, and see what you think. But I think I could pretty easily pick up a few box sets and some Vanguard / Christmas boxes, and for probably around like $1,000 or something like that, get at least as much cool stuff and also get to pick exactly what it is. So it definitely feels like I'd be overpaying for this. So I know that Stormbringer has already been available for some time now in the UK and I think Europe as well. And overall, I've heard pretty good things about it. So if you're one of those people, let me know down below what your overall experience so far has been with Stormbringer. Do you feel like you're getting the value in every month's issues? Are you guys paying a substantially lower price? Because obviously the United States tends to have to overpay for Games Workshop. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments, specifically those that are potentially interested in picking this up, other questions you might have, or somebody that's already been enjoying this subscription over the last few months who can give like a personal experience. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. I think for me, it definitely sparked some curiosity as to whether or not this was going to be cool and whether or not it was going to be worth it. But it didn't take that long to crunch a little math and see that if I'm going to be paying like $1,350 to like $1,600, unless I'm getting like absolutely swamped with merchandise for a fraction of the price, I'd rather just pick what I'm going to buy. And it definitely seems like the majority stuff in these box sets is very redundant over like the starter sets and everything like that. So the MSRP calculations just aren't accurate. So maybe it would be cool for me personally to sign up for this and then do like an unboxing every month when I get my package and show off what's coming. But I think for your average hobbyist or a gamer out there, it's probably just not worth it. But maybe I'm wrong. Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring this video. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on Games Workshop. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man. And I think the idea of Stormbringer is pretty cool. But at like $20 an issue, I'm just not sure it's worth it. And I'm out of here.